Jeremy Hunsinger, we were considering him. He actually came out. He flew in and we auditioned him, and he was very good. But it was a bit scary because he was almost just too much like Perry.
Right.
I felt like he was exactly, like a duplicate, like probably the closest of anyone out there. And what was kind of strange is he also looked like him a bit. And we were just like, I don't know. This other guy, Hugo, that's been out there that looks exactly like Steve Perry. And I was just like, this is a little strange. And we all thought it was. And
that's a little
so
creepy.
I decided to keep looking, and I'm glad I did because, not ready to settle on just, something that didn't feel completely 100%. I wanted to find it.
Well, that was kind of one of the things I was going to ask you, that you found him on YouTube. Were you just surfing and stumbled across him, or were you specifically looking for someone via YouTube? But I guess you just answered that question.
Yeah, I was specifically looking. I was looking for male singers in every genre, and basically spent, 2-3 days just doing nothing but that. And at the last, I'm like ready to throw up my arms and go, man, this is impossible. I'm not going to find anybody, you know what I mean? And then I stumbled onto this one link, and I decided to pop it on, and it was him singing some Survivor song. I went, wow, that guy's got great pipes, and so I followed it and found that he had like about 40 different video clips of him doing from A to Z in the alphabet, everybody, and I was just like, wow, that is insane that he can cover that much ground, and that he can actually, morph his vocals to do all these different things. But really what I was interested about was to put him on some new songs and find out who is the real Arnel, because when you hear that and you hear somebody do Sting, you hear him do Steven Tyler like perfectly, which is not easy to do, and Perry, and, the old Police stuff, Heart, you name it. I mean, Don Henley, Nat King Cole, okay? It was all of it. And I was just like, this guy is insane. I mean, what a chameleon, what a talented voice. And so I was really, like I said, interested in finding out who was the real Arnel. We got him in the studio on a couple new songs. I was pleasantly surprised that, he was just... he sounded very much like just a very strong tenor voice, which is what, Perry was in the earlier days. And
so what songs did he actually, you said that you got him into the studio to do a few songs. Which songs did you have him do? What
we did is when Arnel finally got his visa together,
I heard about
doing on management's part, he came in and we rehearsed for 3 days and he auditioned live. And he went better and better every day. He just got better and better. And so the fourth day, we went into Jonathan's studio, John Kane's studio, and we had a couple new songs that we were working on, Never Walk Away, and Where Did I Lose Your Love? And so the music was already there, the demo was already there, and the voice was just not on it. And so we had Arnel listen to it, and he just listened to it, never heard it before, and he went out in the studio and started singing. And so, we had to teach him the lines and the melody, but he got it so quick. I was like, this guy's a natural in the studio, and I was talking to Don about it, and I'm like, Jesus, here he is. That's our guy, We both looked at each other and agreed, and that was pretty much it. It was a done deal.
So how do you find the lineup on stage these days compared to, the previous lineups?
It seems like it's going to be very exciting, I've been working my butt off trying to get in shape, get this, 54-year-old body in shape again, and because I'm finally cordless again, and I want to be a little bit more mobile and moving around a lot. Arnel is, all over the place.
Well, he was all over the place. Some of the pictures that I shot of him, I've got one where he's jumping off the drum riser, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that David Lee Roth doing Jump?
Yeah, it's sort of like having, you know, the best of all worlds with Arnel. I think it's going to be really, I mean, once we settle in and we get into a groove and we start playing, I think it's really going to come more to life than that, you know. But he's definitely just a natural, and from the 4 or 5 gigs that we've done so far, he's been different in every one of the gigs. And really, truly great, but just different. It's not like he's into a set thing where it's exactly the same every night. He improvises a lot and moves around differently, and I think that's just really cool. I love it.
Now, the Vegas show was awesome, and I'm really looking forward to you guys coming here. I believe it's July 18th at the Mandalay Bay. Actually, I had gone onto the Journey forums, and I asked a couple of the people there if there was anything that they specifically wanted to ask you, because I wanted this interview not just to be like my interview for All Access. I really wanted to be everybody's interview, and if anybody had a chance to ask you something. So I have a couple of questions that were posted in there. One of them was, are you satisfied with the direction that Journey is taking? You've long discussed sort of rocking out more, but it would appear these attempts met with less success or acceptance. Have you now accepted Journey's traditional sound, or do you still feel there is room to stretch and even rock out more?
No, there's definitely more room to stretch. I think that more time needs to be put into it. Initially, when we went into this project, well, we had a deal with Walmart, and what they wanted was a redo of 11 greatest hits, and they wanted like a top 4 new songs. And the more I thought about it, the less I was excited about that idea, and I definitely wanted to come with at least as many new songs as the greatest hits redone. And I felt that, we wouldn't lose, face coming with product like that where we show people, look, they do have new stuff. But also, I think that the redo the greatest hits is an awesome way to show us fans that Arnel can definitely cover this stuff. Without going to see him live, they can listen to it, And because of that, a lot of this stuff, a lot of rock stuff that I brought in at the last minute was done at the last minute. And we didn't have a lot of preparation because we didn't plan on doing a full CD of new songs. But, really, in actuality, and this album is pretty 50-50, the ballads and rock. But it definitely does rock when it rocks, and so I'm happy about that. And you can't play everything new that's on the record live, so we'll pick the rock tunes, and we'll play, after all these years.